All right, Adam, welcome to Q104.com.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's an honor to talk to you.
Thanks.
You know, I've been asking people on Twitter what I should ask you. People are going crazy.
That's dangerous.
It's a little dangerous. But one of the greatest questions I got was, what do you prefer, Hollywood or Broadway? Because you have a background with Broadway, too.
I've never been on Broadway. I've never lived in New York in my entire life.
No kidding, really?
No. I've done some theater, but I've never... I prefer L.A. That's where I've lived the past 8 years, and there's probably a reason.
So when Idol's done, that's where you go back to? It's going to be
Yeah,
LA?
I mean, that's my home base right now. I mean, I have an album coming out in November. We're doing a lot of work on it after the tour. That's where we'll be working from L.A. And, yeah, that's my home. That's where all my friends are. I have some friends in New York, of course, too. But for right now, I want to be a recording artist and do that whole thing. Who knows? Maybe theater in the future. But for right now, I'm going to focus on...
The second question I was supposed to ask you is, are you the next lead singer of Queen?
No.
So many rumors.
That's
about
a
it.
rumor.
Did you read those rumors?
Oh, yeah. I've been hearing about them from every media outlet since they started. I think the press kind of ran with a little game of telephone there.
Sure.
Brian May simply expressed an interest in maybe collaborating in the future. That was a very vague, compliment, and I took it as such. He's, part of Queen.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands of all time. I love their music, and it was quite an honor to sing with him on the finale. But they never made the offer to have me be the new lead singer. That was rumor.
You must read stuff all the time.
Oh,
I can't even imagine. You go to TMZ or Perez and
God.
What's the craziest thing that you've read about yourself?
Oh, that I wanted to tattoo eye makeup on myself.
You don't do that?
No, I would never get anything tattooed on my eyes. That would hurt oof. That sounds like it would hurt.
It does.
No interest.
You've had some nicknames.
Yeah.
You've heard Lambert,
I've
right?
heard Lambert.
Our radio station, our demographic is 25 to 49-year-old females. Do you have any makeup tips?
Use your finger.
Yeah?
Smudge it up with the finger. It looks better. Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Would that work on me?
You would look great with eyeliner on.
Thank you.
Everybody should.
Just a little bit, right?
Why not?
Yeah.
And if you need an excuse, go for Halloween. Do the rocker thing for Halloween.
There you go.
I guarantee you'll love it.
Could I be you for Halloween?
Sure.
Is that an awkward thing to say? I think
it's
I made it awkward now.
Yeah.
So I was reading online that you're now having stuff thrown at you as you're on stage.
There's a lot of
True or false?
True.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff being thrown on stage. Quite provocative items.
Some provocative, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. I love that people are throwing stuff on stage. I think it's hilarious. But I will say, don't throw it at me. It's distracting. If it hits me, I'm trying to sing for you guys. Come on now, just throw it onto the stage, and if I like it, I'll play with it.
How long have you guys been doing the tour so far?
We're at show 35, I think now.
Okay.
35, 36. It's exhausting, but it's worth it. Every time I get on stage, I feel like I'm recharging my batteries.
Have you gotten to the point where you're now pranking each other on stage?
No, I don't really. The only other person that I sing with on stage is, besides the finale, which is all together, and Chris and I are on stage together during the finale, and we kind of goof off a little bit. And Allison and I do a duet during my set together, and we don't prank each other, but we definitely play. There's a lot of silliness that happens.
And, I think one of the amazing things is everyone wanted it to be, Adam versus Chris, as far as, some kind of competition between you. And it was a competition, but there,
we're so different. You can't really, we're totally different types of artists. And I think that's why we respect each other so much and why we get along. Chris does his thing really well, and it's I think his voice is beautiful. He's a great musician. He's just a different vibe than I am. He brings that kind of grounded, everyman, emotional core to his songs, and I'm over the top, flamboyant, a little bit more theatrical. It's just two different things. And I love that too. In the press we were talking about what's the craziest thing you've read. For a while there, the press was really trying to pit us against each other.
They were.
They're in a feud, and Adam's a diva, and Chris. I'm like, you guys. And it always says a very reliable source. I'm like, who said that? So it's funny. Chris and I get along famously. He's the coolest guy I know. He's totally down to earth, totally sweet. Him and his wife, are the cutest couple I've ever seen in my entire life.
Does she travel around with you guys, or?
She comes and visits,
Okay.
yeah, periodically. It's really hard for anybody to come travel around with us. The way that the logistics are, it's kind of would be impossible, I think.
All right, so you get out of bed in the morning. How long does it take you for this? You know, the whole...
For this?
For this. Is this just rolling out of bed, or is this
This is pretty much just rolling out of bed. I, fix my hair a little
What
bit.
colors do we have in there? Can I...
There's a little bit of
green, isn't it? Or?
It's like turquoise, green, blue. There's kind of a little bit of everything, and it fades out to green. Sometimes I have to redo it and get the blue back in. But yeah. This is pretty much out of bed.
Cool.
A little smoke and mirrors around here, for the camera, but
Well, I appreciate you sitting down and talking to us. I hope this wasn't the same old interview you've done 9,000 times.
No,
so.
it's always different.
Is there any question that someone hasn't asked you yet that you really were hoping someone would ask you?
That question actually is asked all the time.
No kidding. Lame. Try to go for something original.
I wish I could think of something, though, because I've been asked it and I never know what to say to that.
Yeah.
Here's another rumor that I heard, so I wish you'd ask me this question.
Okay.
I don't have laryngitis, and I haven't had laryngitis.
Never?
For the rumor mill, not on this tour. If I had laryngitis, I wouldn't be singing or talking. There's been a couple of cities where I opted out of doing after-show activities like meet and greets and signing. I was getting tired. My set vocally is really, really rigorous. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure on the chords. And my doctor and my voice coach both advised me, you know what, you should just be silent after the show so that you can, revamp yourself for the next show.
And it's a long tour.
Yeah,
you don't want to.
So I just really wanted to make sure that I was rested so I could give people the best show possible. And I apologize for hurting anybody's feelings for not coming out and signing and meeting you, but I kind of have to take care of myself. And I thank those of you that understand that.
All right, so no laryngitis.
No laryngitis. I was just a little worn out.
Very good. Adam Lambert, thank you so much. I appreciate you
Thanks,
sitting
yeah,
down and
appreciate
hanging
it.
out on Q104.com.
Yeah, my pleasure.